Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS22 Let's Map video. In this video I'll keep on working on my upcoming American map Marigold Farm. And in the last part we painted some fields, and between the episodes I painted even more fields. As you can see, I have them here and here. Now we have a little bit more than 30 fields as far as I remember. And yeah, you can see there are some small ones and some bigger ones, but no huge ones. But you could combine fields. So if you want to have a bigger field, you could just go here and put them together. So what I'll do is, if I make roads between the fields, I will make them as dirt road, so painted dirt road, so that you can just go there with your plow and make a field out of it. So there won't be objects in this area where there are fields that maybe want to be put together. Yeah, and now I want to make the fields for the main farm in this area here. And about the cow barn, one of you said, oh, he'd like to have a big cow barn for 500 cows. And that would take quite a lot of the land, I would say, to make it good. I could just write 500 cows and have a small cow barn there, but that wouldn't feel okay for me when building a map. So if I make a map with 500 cows, then the pasture should be big enough. So if this stays the barn, maybe I build one myself, but about that later. And for 500 cows, I would say it would take all this place for a meadow. Yeah, and that would be my question for you. One of the first question of today's video. Would more of you like to have such a big cow barn? When this means to have quite a huge place of the land occupied for the cows. And what I would do is, if it's possible, I would put some field texture inside. I don't know whether that works, but I would try it. And then I would put grass on it, or meadow that grows again, and then you could go there and cut the grass and make TMR out of it, and then feed the cows with the grass of your meadow. But then you have to live with it that you go there cutting the grass while the cows are roaming around. So I think this is not good for everybody. Yeah. So therefore I leave this place empty now, and I hope some of you will tell me, yes, I would like to have a huge meadow for the cows, or no, I would prefer to have it as fields and only a smaller cow barn. So a smaller cow barn would take less place for the meadow. Okay. Yeah, and what I was thinking about, whether it would be reasonable to make an American cow barn out of such a barn. So to open it up, here it has some doors, as you can see, and maybe I could use those doors to make openings for the cows, and then I can't open it up now, but maybe have the opening here for driving through to feed the cow. So then the cows would roam around here until here. Here would be the end of the cow area, and we would drive here to feed them, and then we would have the infrastructure for the cows here. And here on the other side we would have place for storage, maybe for bales, but without an official function, just for putting some bales, or maybe putting the mixer wagon or whatsoever in this area. So this would be a storage area. And if you ask why not feeding through here and have all this area for the cows, I think this door is not high enough. So most TMR mixers and normal trailers would fit through this, but it is limited somehow, and so it maybe would be nicer to have 20 centimeters more height. Then I think nearly every vehicle could go through this. And let's see, is this the center? Yeah, I think this is the center. So it wouldn't matter. Or, oh no, what I just see. Yeah, we could make, so in the imagination, I just turn myself. So then we would have this area for driving by with our tractor and the trailer, and here we would have the fence where is the end of the cow roaming area, and here would be the place where the cows could roam around. Maybe just a place with straw and such, like in FS19. Maybe a corner with a closed corner for milking robot or so. And then maybe I would leave this open that the cows can go out and enjoy the meadow. So I think that in this direction we would have more place for the cows, and then only a little bit of space for storage. Yeah, would this be reasonable? Because I don't know whether American farmers sometimes use their old barns as a cow barn. And if this would be reasonable, I would do it. So then I would make a cow barn maybe in 3 different colors. So not for the placement would be in 1 color, but I would add it as a barn to the placeables that you can buy, and then I could make different colors. Yeah, and I think such a building would look more matching to this American theme than this Herman barn. Okay, I'm really interested what you will tell me. And yeah, I want to use existing building because I don't have the time to build the buildings for this farm, for this map myself. I only want to build the farmhouse. So, because right now with my German map I see that it is stopping the map building for months if I try to make a lot of buildings myself. So now we can go on with the fields, or we can start with the fields. I think in normal life it would be okay to have such a slope here for the fields, but I would love to have an area to extend the farm. That is a field in the beginning, and then if you think, oh, my farm should be bigger, then you just take the field and transform it into your farm. So a small field, and that should be totally flat. Because if I would offer you this, you would pay a bazillion amount of money to flatten it out to be able to build something on it. And therefore I make this area flat for the start. So a little smaller, and then I take the height of this. Is it working? No, isn't. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, maybe I have to click somewhere else and then again. Oh, I don't have the sculpting mode. Now, here we are. Okay. So, is the size okay? I think the size is okay. And as you can see, this looks rather ugly for the moment. And here we will have an even bigger slope. So maybe I have to bring this up quite some place that we don't have this strong difference. So, but first I make an area about the same size of the farm, totally flat. Okay, I think that's enough. And now I make this bigger. And is it bigger? A little bit. I make it even bigger. So, like so. And then I push this whole area up, that we don't have such a hole, so to say. Oh, this is with noise? I thought I deactivated the noise. It is deactivated. Okay. Okay, then maybe it was my noisy movements. Oh, no. So here we still have a strong difference, and I see that I lift this up, so I will flatten this again when I'm done with the uplifting. So now I somehow I'm like volcano. Volcanoes they tend to uplift before they erupt. So now I flatten this again. Whoosh. Yeah, this is better. And now I can smooth it. Okay. I make it bigger. Let's take 70 maybe. Okay. and I reduced this mountain area. I haven't yet decided what to do with this small mountain area. Maybe I will remove it completely, or maybe I will plant some leaf trees for just having yeah, a nice recreational small decorative mountain area. Because I think maybe it would be nice to have here something like a valley where we would make another dirt road. And if I would remove this completely, we wouldn't have a valley here. But I think it can be rather flat and then maybe smaller. No, it doesn't shrink so much. But this is the... I do this at another time, because now I should smooth it here. And there is enough to do with smoothing here. And then when it's more or less smooth, oh, here we have a huge step that I don't want. But when this is more or less smooth, I will start painting the fields, and then we can see it even better where it needs to be smooth more. But I don't want it to be totally flat here, because that wouldn't look natural. Okay, I think I can start. So, the painting, dirt again, and let's have a look what 40 meters square would be on. Now you see, oh, we have a problem, because the yeah, the farm is something like 45 degrees from the straight rectangle. Yeah, it's much easier to paint rectangular fields that match the direction of the map. But then we would have some here an area. Let's see, is this? Yeah, it is. So here you can see this is okay. I think I'll go for fields in this direction, because everything else is, it doesn't look nice usually, and it's much more difficult. And we could fill this area here, this triangle, with something nice, I guess. Or we could fill it up with a part of the field that is not rectangular, so give it a tip. That would be possible too. Let's see if I have it here. Is it all on the flat area? I would say yes. Yeah. So I think the house, a slide for the kids and such could be here. Then this is maybe better if I enlarge the field a little bit. Do I really want to do this? Or rather enlarge it a little bit here, and then just have a piece of meadow there. I think we will see this later. And here, okay, this here is no mountain anymore, so I can make it a little bit wider. Like here. So, then this will be the field that you own in the beginning, and where you have some crops, and where you that you can transform to be a part of your farm if you want. And here, and you will own more than this field, but this is the to later become a farm dedicated field somehow. So this can follow the road. Like so. And there we could have a field there. Let's see how sloped it is. Oh, it is okay. But I want to have a bridge there. Somewhere like here I want to have a bridge. Maybe I just put the bridge and then let's see whether I can click on it. Yes, yes, this is good. So then I can just bring it up. And maybe we have a different bridge there later. But for now, to see where the bridge will be, because where the bridge will be, there will be a road. Okay, I think this would be the best, and then here would be the road. Maybe I just paint it. Like so. It won't look nice. Pathway. At a different time I will make it with a spline. So, but this is just for remembering where it will be. So, and we will need it here a little bit wider and so. Okay, now I can decide where the field here could go. Something like that. Yes, and I already see this will be a rather odd shaped field. We shouldn't come too close to the river, because we don't want that the helper falls into the river. I hope this is okay like that. If not, the field has to become smaller. And we will be sad. But maybe like that, maybe a little bit more following the shape of the river. Yeah, and then I will leave this corner as a meadow, because those corners are not nice to work on. Okay. And yeah, I think I keep on painting fields, and then we can decide which fields will be owned already in the beginning. So I make this a little bit bigger again. So, this can go. Because I think we shouldn't own all the fields in this area, because then, yeah, we will miss the joy of buying a new field, because this is always something like a party. Oh, I got enough money to buy another field. And I think it's nicer to have a new field that is close by, and only later buy fields somewhere else. So maybe we would own those 3 plus the meadow for the cows, and this would be one to buy later. And maybe then we make one here that is not so big, and that you can buy later if you don't have so much money. And here, let's see. Oh, this is already far too much down, because here we have this nice little lake. I think this is already enough. This is very small, but then it is really cheap, and you can already buy this after your first harvest and enlarge this field, and you can get the feeling, yes, we accomplished something. Okay, so now I try what happens if I pull this up. Yeah, that's what I wanted, because somehow this was too small, the lake, and too much down. I lifted this up again and again, and then so now, yeah, I think this is okay. This will already be a little bit difficult, but sometimes I think a little bit difficult is okay. And if you don't want to have it difficult, then you just cut away this part of the field which is too difficult for you. So I'm in between making everything simple and enjoyable, and so what is somehow my main focus, but at some places a tiny little bit of being difficult could be okay, but here maybe I lift it up a little bit. So just let's see. And then it's more steep towards the lake, but maybe I could smooth this out a little bit more. So bring this up here and here also. Okay, and then smooth. Now you can see sometimes this smoothing works quite okay when the area is not so big. Okay, and here I bring it up to, okay, the lake gets smaller from this, but I think we can live with it. It doesn't need to be so big. And now we smooth this, and then maybe it's a little bit easier. Yeah, now you can go from there, and you can still stop your vehicle and turn around, and I hope. So this is something that should be tried, whether it's okay. There was a field in Felsbrunn in FS19 close to the main farm and the lake and the shop. And when I came to the corner of the field that was close to the lake, very often the helper drove into the lake and he couldn't push himself up again because it was too weak and the slope was too steep. So that's why I have a look on this, whether this is okay or not. Okay. Did I do something here? No, not really. Oh. I had the sculpting modus active. And then I switched to the painting modus, and then I tried to sculpt. So this was a little bit silly. But here I discovered something like a hole that is maybe a little bit too much. So now we go on painting some more fields. Oh, not so many. And then for the fields that we'll own, let's see. I could go there rather far. Yeah, so one thing would be to cut this in half. But on the other hand, oh no, now I have to leave a road open for here. So I would make it maybe something like there. Maybe I should paint it, the road that I'm planning. And it will look terrible, but yeah, to make me stop somehow. So like this, and then maybe there. Oh yeah, when I see this is the road. This is 6 meters wide. And so we have quite some distance between this edge of the field and this lake. Or maybe it's rather a pond, so it is quite small. But I like to have a little bit of water beside the creek close to our farm, just for fun. And then there will be trees, and maybe I will have a landing stage where you could go and do some imaginary angling or so. So now dirt again. So this field isn't as big as I thought it could become. And it is a little bit oddly shaped. So yeah, what I wanted to say before, sometimes I'd like to make small fields with the idea, okay, you could make them bigger if you want, but we have 63 or only 62 lots available. I could increase this maybe you know maps that have more lots to buy, but I'm not sure whether this would be problematic for consoles and such, and therefore I'd like to stick to the 62 buyable fields. The 63rd is the non-buyable area, and this has a really funny shape, but I think you can work on this. Maybe best from here to there, and then from here to there, so with the helper. Or you work on this and then think this is a silly part. Maybe I'll think about the shape of this field. Yeah. Somehow in reality, it depends on where you are, but at a lot of places in reality, the fields are following the shape of the nature. And if you only have a flat nature, then you can just make square fields to your liking. But if you have some mountains and such, then such shapes can happen. And yeah, I could cut off this and just make a rectangular field, but on the other hand, that would be so boring. So I like to have a mixture out of very rectangular, very simple fields and some fields that follow the landscape, because I know a lot of people like those kind of fields better, or those, and other like the rectangular fields better. And yeah, therefore I think a mixture is maybe best, and I just do it as the shape of the landscape asks me. Here I have it like that because this is a strong slope. And yeah, I'm not so sure whether this is a good field, but I think it would be okay. And here, because most of it is flat, most of the fields are rectangular, and this not, because of the road to this island. Yeah, so I'd like to hear from you what you prefer. Rectangular fields or irregular fields, or maybe a mixture. Okay, so the pre-painting of those fields close to our farm is done, I would say. And why made it this pling instead of saving? Now it's saving, okay. And now we do something that we only have to do for the owned fields in FS22. In FS19 I did it for all fields, but I'm not even sure whether that was a good idea or needed. And because all the other fields, for example, this and this and that, and all the other fields down there, they will belong to the NPCs in the beginning. And those only belong to the NPCs if we start at Farm Manager or start from scratch. But for the NPC fields, we will do this definition that I showed you the last time, with this transform groups and corners and such, where you say this field is from here to there and there, But if you own a field, it's not owned by an NPC, and therefore the program, the game doesn't grow crops by itself. And therefore we have to define it as a field on top of the other defining. So we will do the other defining as well. There are several steps. What I just did here was just painting for me to see where I want the fields to be. So this making them dirt does nothing for the game. This is only for me. And yeah, then we have to decide where are the lots to buy. We can combine several fields to one lot. Maybe this will be needed to stay in the area of 62 areas that can be bought. And then we have this field definitions for the NPCs, and then we have this, what we do now. This is painting the terrain detail, or terrain detail. Some words that are the same in French and in English, I pronounce in French per default. And sometimes I remember, okay, in English it's pronounced different. And I live in France only at the border, and I don't speak a lot of French. Very, very seldom, because I live, somehow my nerd life. I stay at home and work on my computer, and then I go out with my bicycle through the fields, and there is nobody. Usually, sometimes there is a farmer and I say hello and have a little talk, but usually all I say to the people is bonjour, 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 what means good day. And but for some words I'm pulled to the French pronunciation, like the detail instead of detail. So if I pronounce something very, very strange, then this might be the case, that I pronounce it the French way. So here we have the terrain detail. So I really have to take care to say it in English. And I can decide which ground type I want to have. Whether I want the stubble tillage, cultivated, seedbed, plowed. I want it harvest ready. Yes, harvest ready is okay. Okay, and I can make it bigger. Let's make 30. Then it's not too big. And this is strange because it always has a delay, so we don't see it at once. And now I remove it again. I hope it works. Yes, because it was a little bit outside my brown area. Now I have to go to the left again. Yeah, like this is okay. And now this area is defined as a field. It works as a field for your own usage. So somehow this happens if you plow a field with allow field creation, so to say. Not exactly, but because the texture is now harvest ready and not plowed. Oh, I thought I had made it a little bit more down, but no. Come on, yes, yes. Yes, very good. So now I go further down. And it doesn't work precisely, as you can see. So, now come. Maybe again. Yes, and then just the small corner. Okay, come. Doesn't want. Up, like so. Now here we are. Okay, and here maybe I go a little bit more to the right. Yes, and later I will remove this rock texture because this is a flat area. Rock is not the right thing, but that will be easy to remove it. Okay, here we have some corner that is not so nice. Okay. Yeah, I think this... Oh, no, no. This is too much. And then... This is okay. Yeah, this is better. Okay. And now we have area where the ground is looks like harvest ready, but we need to let something grow on it. And I think we just start with wheat, because yeah, somehow I like to have some wheat in the beginning, at least on one field, because somehow this, from in my opinion, oh, I have to remove this this grass. Let's see, I hope it works without removing the ground foliage. This is very strange because it behaves, it looks like a painted texture, like this grass or mountain rock, but it is defined as foliage, like as if this harvest ready ground texture would be a foliage, like a plant. So this is a little bit strange, but you just have to know it and then it's okay. So now I try to remove this grass. Yeah, it works. This is good. And now we can work on the wheat. Where is it? Here. Harvest ready. And then we go here and hope for the best. Yes. And this is what makes your own field harvest ready or whatsoever in the beginning. And for the NPC fields, it's the game engine that does this. Okay. Yeah. And the next will be terrain, detail again, and again harvest ready. And then we do this. Like so. Okay. I find it a little bit strange that there's always such a delay. No, that went fast. But maybe he has to think a lot about it. Now it's a little bit bigger than my dirt texture, but I think that is not a problem. The other way around is more ugly. So now this becomes a little bit difficult because I go there being blind somehow. Oh, it's quite okay. Now here, like so. And come on. This is not straight enough. And then from here. Okay. I think I can live with it. And now we just do this also. And then I'm thinking on what should grow there. I'd say at least on one of those I would make canola. And then maybe barley, because barley can be harvested in August as well. So then we already have our first harvest. Oh, and then I have another question. Today I have a lot of questions for you. Would you love to have small or round production on your farm built in? So that I put a building, I think somewhere we can place another building, a smaller one, and that is a production for your, it's not a factory, but more a small farm production. Maybe you know my mods. I have, let's say, medium-sized farm production and a very tiny farm production, and maybe I would use the buildings of the medium one because they are here from Elm Creek. Yeah. First I go on painting here. And so what do we do? Maybe I make canola here and barley there. Then in some we have more grain than canola. So now canola and harvest ready. I'd prefer to make it to make it flowering, because I love the flower of the canola so much, but that wouldn't be the right month, and I guess you would love to have it harvest ready. And so then we have this, oh, it's not an ugly brown, but compared to this wonderful yellow flowers, it's uglier, I would say. Okay. And then you can just start with harvesting. Yeah, and then maybe even just start producing. And I think I would make the most of the base game productions, as I have in my last farm production, but with a different building, a building that fits nicely into this. So now the barley and harvest ready. So, and maybe if you want, I could give this, oh no, I just remember, for farm supply production, I need a different building, because the products that you make from your grain and such, they spawn as pellets, but I think you wouldn't like to have the hay dryer and the TMR to spawn as pellets. And I can, with one production building, I can only tell it to either spawn pellets or to have a pipe like the silo. So one or the other. And so if you want to have a fermenting, so silage production, TMR production, hay dryer, such and so forth, we would need to have even another building. So maybe even 2 production buildings, if you want this. But I could leave it like that without, so it depends on what you want. So now we have our own fields, and this is quite a little mountain. Maybe I can smooth this down, and then we don't have this strong slope. Yeah, I hope this works. I try, but it should work in the, I make it round. In the Giants editor, it's not that this sculpting destroys the field textures. So now it's very, very bumpy, but when I'm really busy smoothing and smoothing, I would love to have this smooth function to work faster. But right now it's already quite okay. And the bump is smaller. So it's still a little bit curvy, but I think that is okay. So now we have here the barley, here the canola, and I remove the grid. This one here was the grid. Yeah. So now I promised you that we would go and have a look for the building that I meant. And maybe next time we could make some meadow here, then it looks nicer. Or we could start to define the lots that you can buy. That would be the next big step. So where is it? I think it's, yeah, it's there. It's this little little farm in the mountains. So I would think on this, because this is small. And maybe I could take this side building. Oh, I think this side building is, let's see. It is hollow. Yeah, so it doesn't have a back wall. So I couldn't use this side building as a standalone production. But maybe I could use one building and make two productions out of it. If it's built into the farm. I couldn't do this in a mod, because then I can only have one production in one object. But I could place a building and just have one production, those triggers around it. And here we have the other production with other triggers. That would work on a map, but not in a mod. And this here, this is bigger, so therefore I would prefer this. But I just want to check whether maybe this is modular. No, it isn't. This is together in one object. I like this barn. It is so simple somehow and nice. Yeah, so tell me about your wishes of about the production. Where are we? Woohoo! There's our home. Oh, do you see the water plane? So, oh no. So I make it a little bit smaller. 0.7 maybe, and then this can be 0.7 also, and even smaller. So yes, now it's better, but it's still looking here. But maybe later I will do a water plane that is exactly this shape. I only have to check that maybe I make it higher here a little bit, that it doesn't spill in theory. It shouldn't spill down to the valley. Okay. Yeah, that's it for this part, and we can go to the next step, and I think we make quite some nice progress. It will only take a few more parts to be able to go in-game the first time, not to really play, but to go in-game and maybe buy a tractor and drive around and get a feeling for how it looks. And yeah, this is the next big step somehow. Okay, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.